Chapter 11. The Silence of the Watchers. The whispers had become accusatory, filled with blame and suspicion. They knew Alex, they'd hiss. The Watchers, the Protectors, they knew what was coming. But they did nothing. They'd flash images in his mind, faces of intelligence agents, high-ranking officials, politicians in smoke-filled rooms. He'd hear snippets of phone calls, hushed conversations, coded messages hinting at foreknowledge, at deliberate inaction. Alex's investigation into 9/11s had taken a dark turn, leading him into the heart of the intelligence community. He was no longer just questioning the official narrative. He was questioning the competence, the integrity, and the very purpose of the agencies entrusted with protecting the nation. He began to investigate the intelligence failures that led to 9/11s, uncovering a series of missed opportunities, ignored warnings, and deliberate negligence. He discovered that the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA had all received intelligence suggesting that Al-Qaeda was planning a major attack on US soil, but they failed to connect the dots, to share information, and to take decisive action. He found evidence of bureaucratic infighting, turf wars, and a culture of secrecy that prevented the intelligence agencies from effectively collaborating. He discovered that critical information was withheld, warnings were ignored, and potential threats were dismissed. The whispers, meanwhile, were feeding him fragments of information, snippets of conversations, coded messages that hinted at a deeper conspiracy, a deliberate cover-up. They were complicit, Alex, they'd murmur. They allowed it to happen. They were part of the plan. Alex began to suspect that the intelligence failures were not just a result of incompetence or negligence, but a deliberate act of sabotage, a calculated risk taken by the ATG to ensure the success of their 9/11's plan. He theorized that they had infiltrated the intelligence agencies, planting their agents in key positions of power, ensuring that their plans would not be disrupted. He discovered that several high-ranking officials in the intelligence community had ties to the ATG, that they had received funding from ATG-linked organizations, or that they had participated in ATG-sponsored conferences and workshops. He began to suspect that these individuals were not just negligent. They were complicit, actively working to undermine national security and facilitate the ATG's agenda. He found evidence of a network of moles and double agents working within the intelligence community, individuals who were secretly loyal to the ATG, feeding them information, sabotaging investigations, and protecting their operations. He began to see the intelligence agencies not as protectors of the nation, but as tools of the ATG, instruments of their control. The whispers intensified, taunting him with details of the intelligence failures, hinting at the ATG's involvement. "We blinded them, Alex," they'd sneer. "We deafened them, we silenced them. We made sure they wouldn't see us coming." Alex felt a growing sense of betrayal, a deep disillusionment with the institutions he had always trusted. He realized that the intelligence community was not just incompetent, it was corrupt, compromised, and controlled by the ATG. He began to see the 9/11's attacks not just as a tragedy, but as a betrayal of the public trust, a betrayal of the very principles upon which the nation was founded. He knew that he had to expose the truth, to reveal the complicity of the intelligence community in the 9/11's attacks. But he also knew that it would be dangerous, that he was up against a powerful and ruthless enemy. The ATG had infiltrated the highest levels of power, and they would stop at nothing to protect their secrets. As he sat in his darkened apartment, the hum vibrating through his body, the whispers taunting him with accusations of betrayal, Alex knew that he was fighting a battle against a formidable foe, a foe that had the power to silence him, to discredit him, to make him disappear. But he also knew that he couldn't give up. The truth was out there, waiting to be discovered, and he was determined to find it, no matter the cost.